appears that I am back on the air one more time tonight. Actually, two more times. Tomorrow night I'll be on as well. But for tonight, it's just right now at 12 midnight on the Beezer. Look at that. I had no idea that I could actually make it on time. Excuse me. It was quite an interesting day. Lots of stuff going on up here. Lots of cats running around outside, animals. Let a bear come by this afternoon, which was really weird because they normally don't show up in the afternoon. It's almost always in the evening. But I think that I might get a visit. I put out some nice garbage for them earlier today, and I think they may try their hand. They're trying to trying to outsmart me with my garbage can ploy, which is to back them in back behind where my chimney is, wedge them in right between the chimney and the deck, so that they really have to pull on them to get them down. In which case, that's going to make a hellified noise and alert me to the fact that they're out and about, trying to make off with some garbage. I don't mind if they just screw it around on the deck a little bit. I don't mind that much, but I hate when they drag it down the block. I mean, that means I have to go running after it and clean it up. Not my favorite thing to do. Let me check and see if I have any comments. Arthur, hi. Hey, Arthur, how are you? Vincent, good evening. John from East Tennessee. Very cool. Thank you guys for coming on board here and saying hello, early on in the old broadcast. I messed around with some settings. I'm going to turn my phone on. My phone was acting very weird. I was on a phone call, and the other end, the person on the other end got really garbled, like they were in some kind of weird spatial thing, really crazy sounds coming out of the phone. And then I went to go turn my phone off, and it wouldn't turn off. And the phone wasn't connected to the call, but it was ringing like it was connected, but with a very strange ring. I don't know what was going on with it, so I'm turning my phone back on again so I could actually read some of the comments, even though I can see them here a little bit, but not really to my satisfaction. I can't really... I'd like to have it be on my... I'd like it to be on my cell phone. Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Diane. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Jeremy. And I went over all my settings, and I couldn't find anything peculiar going on with the settings. So I checked the replay of last night, and there wasn't any problem with any kind of breakups or garbled things, or I don't know what it could have possibly been. But I'm beginning to think that it might have been Facebook. I also recorded it, and I checked the recording, and the recording came out great. So both recordings came out great, even though one got cut off short. The one from this page, my main page, got cut off short. And the other one managed to be the full length of it. So I don't know what the heck was going on with that. I didn't do anything. I just, I kept talking, and finally I ended the show. So I don't know what was happening with it. But if things start to get squirrely again tonight, I think that it might be Facebook's, because there's a lot going on now, and I don't know if they were really prepared for the amount of people who are, who are trying to use Facebook's, live integration. I think that there may be some difficulty with that. They may have really underestimated the amount of people who are going to be doing it, as well as the kind of, I guess, bandwidth is what it would be that's involved in trying to get something like this to happen. Think about it, there's like a couple of billion people on Facebook right now, and out of that couple of billion, maybe a few million right now, or maybe more, are usually using the live feature. I don't know how their infrastructure, their IT infrastructure is dealing with it. I would be really surprised if it wasn't the Facebook itself that was causing some of this fluttering and things. And I think it's also people's connection that has something to do with it as well. But I'm operating right now at the highest level I can operate with this piece of software as far as frames per second and loading up onto the web. But if it starts to flutter and get all kinds of frustrating, There'll be a recording of this as well as the actual replay is what Facebook does on top of that. So that will be there as well. Okay, I've got some more comments here. Let's take a look. Much better video tonight. All right, that's good to know. Diane, good start. Buffering less, but still buffering. All right, I don't know what that could be. Vincent, a little buffering still, but not like last night, right? Last night was really bad. Neberto, hello, mentor and friend. Hi, Neberto. How are you? And Diane, okay. Oh, Greg, hi from Sacramento. There you go. Yeah, I think we'll be out in Sacramento again with Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I'm pretty sure that will be out there again. I think so. I don't know for sure. When I see the itinerary, I'll be able to let everyone know after it becomes public and stuff. For those of you who aren't on the I think it's the Trans-Siberian Express is the actual website for a fan page kind of fan thing. It'll also be posted on their TSO Facebook fan page as well. I'm pretty sure of that. And let's see. Do we have any other questions here? Okay. Just taking a peek here to see what's going on. Might have to put my glasses on. Might be. And let me see. Anything else? I don't really see any kind of real buffering or anything crazy going on. It looks good so far. Over here on this side as well, it looks good. But then again, if you are looking at this and listening on a Wi-Fi connection, that's got a lot to do with it as well. They say, when using a computer and not using your phone, or even if you're using your cell phone, to make sure that you have a good Wi-Fi connection in order to really pick up the broadcast and to broadcast with as well. It does use a lot of resources. Celebrating Kathy's birthday. Glad we met her at the Winchester. Yeah, she loved the Winchester, and she loved hanging out there, meeting everybody. Those were fun times. It definitely were a lot of fun for her. She loved just hanging out and meeting everybody. And everyone loved her too. She just had that personality. She had that smile. She just had that, that really great vibe about her. Yeah, she's missed, seriously. Definitely. Let me see. We got here. Ross joined. Hello, Ross. Come on in and say, hey, the water's fine. Dip a toe in. See what happens. Ask a question if you want. I'm open for it. Tonight I'll be doing a little bit of the part 2 of how to really start to write your first book with some pointers and general pointers and such, and things that something that helped me out a lot in getting my book done, my first one. So yeah, I'll be running that down as well. I'm going to try to get into it a little bit sooner because it's a lot of slides. I think the total presentation from last night and tonight is over 65 slides. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be about maybe 40, maybe 45 slides all total. I won't go through it blazing fast, but I'll go through it pretty quickly because after all, this is also being recorded and it is being replayed again pretty quickly by Facebook. And the playback should be fine. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be all buffered and crazy and stuff like that. So it should work out good. But thank you guys for coming on board and saying hey again. Jeremy, haven't missed. Like, boy, here we go. All right, hang on. Okay. You did it now. All right. Haven't missed Notion 13 years. Okay. Don't really know what that is. Greg, missed it in 13 years. Okay. I see Trans-Siberian Orchestra in Kansas City. All right, cool. All right, excellent. That's very cool. You see, Vincent, somebody posted a great video of Vakken today. What a great show that was. Yeah. They're starting to become more readily available, the real high definition stuff that was actually shot by Vakken itself. So with all of their cameras, you can really see what it was like playing there. That some of the songs, the rain was pouring down. It was just torrential rain, and other stuff had cleared up. You know, I'm waiting for to find a real great high definition version of the tail end of the show, which was the very end of Beethoven's Fifth. When we threw in the kitchen sink. I mean, we threw everything in, and it was so fantastic because the shot that I saw was from all the way in the back of where the crowd was, so you could see the full length of both stages, and then these clouds that were these black clouds, and then they opened up right in the middle, and the full blue moon was right in between both stages. It was like, give me chills. I get chills thinking about it now. Spectacular. I hope they can find that. That'd be great. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. James Terry joined. Hey, James. Come on in. There you go. Let's come on in and say hello. Yeah, I tried dragging a whatchamacallit. I tried dragging a few drums up here just to test and see if I could actually play drums in this room while doing a live cast or something, because I have my drum school that I run, and I've also broadcast onto the drum school's fan page itself. So I wanted to see if I could actually get it to work, but it's very loud in here. It's very, very loud. I'd have to soundproof the room or put some real cushioning or baffling up to really get rid of some of these hard these are all wood walls and stuff. So this is gonna be very, very, very noisy, very brittle. I need to make sure I can get this to be a little more softer sounding. I'll give it a shot. I'm gonna try it. I'll see if I can. Okay, here come the glasses one more time. Whoa, what the heck was that? Hang on. Earbuds. Nothing like a nice pair of earbuds. All right, let me just check something here. Let's see what we got showing. Delete comment. No. Yeah, I don't want to delete the comments. Just cancel. Let me see, Greg. So, John, when you're playing with the drums with TSO, how much of the audience can you see? Well, you can see right now. Can't see a lot. I mean, there's so much going on. Gosh, Greg, there is so much happening, so much effects and everything that's going on there between the fog and the lasers and everything else. I probably can see a pretty decent amount. Sometimes it's hard to see all the way in the back. It's very difficult when the show's going. So, yeah, it's a bit tough, to see everything that's going on. But then when all the lights come on and that starts to happen and the back of the arena gets lit up by whatever effect is going on back there, then I can see everything pretty much. I'm also pretty high up in the air, too, at times. Let's see, Vincent. Everything just went back to what happened last night, buffering every couple of seconds. Well, I don't know what is going on with that. Jim joined. Hey, Jim. Broadcast interrupted. Now, I'm seeing broadcast interrupted here on my phone, but over on my computer over here, nothing is wrong. But this on my iPhone is going kind of crazy. So I don't really understand what that's about. Because, well, then again, this is, a mobile phone technology really has got to come along a lot further. I mean, the ideas are like running rampant way ahead of the actual platform that they have to do this kind of stuff. Because nothing's going on here, but this one here I can see is going crazy. Unfit Steely, something or other. Unfit Steely buffering too much on this end, and we have Wi-Fi connected. Connect to Wi-Fi 24/7. Vincent, I got a pop-up that reads broadcast interrupted, then it starts buffering. Vincent, okay, well, I got the same thing on my phone, but I did not get it on my computer. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't get it there. And this computer is on Wi-Fi. But of course, my regular, what I'm broadcasting to is directly hardwired, so it's right in there hardwired. So there's no, I don't see anything buffering on that end at all. So a little bit on, unfortunately, ARC Apple spell check. Yeah, I know it's a pain, James. Stephanie, good evening, John. Happy Friday from State College, PA. Hey, nice to see you, Stephanie. Thanks for coming on by and saying hello here. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do one day? Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll just try and see. Now, this is buffering like crazy here on my phone. On the computer, it's not doing anything. And on this one, which is hardwired, it's not doing anything. But that one was starting to buffer over here. Yep. Don't know why that is doing it. Very strange. But like I said, if it gets too frustrating, and you just want to come back and check it later on, the broadcast will be back up again, the replay. And the replays don't have anything going on with them. So I really do think it's got a lot to do with the combination of the possible Facebook being overwhelmed with the amount of people who are doing this kind of thing, and also with Wi-Fi connection, the possibility of that happening. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, this one's going fine too over there. Let's see. Any other questions? We got anything here? Let's see. Yeah, Stephanie, you're in State College, PA. My best friend lived in State College, PA for a number of years. Yeah, he was up there for a while. He was doing some banking things up there. I mean, he loved it up there. He definitely did. He put on about 50 pounds when he was up there because of all the fact that everything was like right off the farms. Everything was so fresh. Yeah, he just began to like pound back the food. He moved back to Long Island now, and that's where he lives. That's where he's back right now. He moves back to Long Island, and I moved to Pennsylvania. You can't make it up. Yeah, he's about 4 hours away from State College, where he is now on Long Island. Actually, basically the same thing with my family. My sister and everybody where they live. They're about good 4 hours away from me right now. Brad joined. Hey, Brad. Howdy doody. Come on in. Say hey if you want. Let me see. Any kind of questions? Anything going on? Anything? Because I do have this thing. Let me see. 12. Let me just check something here as well. Let me check my CPU usage. All right, less than 50%. So that's doing really well. Yeah, that's doing really well. Yeah, I don't think it's got a lot to do with this end here that's happening, but I will scope that out tomorrow for sure to see if I can make if it will be different if I actually just use like my iPad. I'll try doing that. The phone I don't trust. I don't really trust the phone that much, but I will check the iPad out. I'll see if I can actually set it up. I have it on a stand right here. I can do that way. You'll just be seeing that corner of the room probably, most likely. And let's see, we have anything else going on here? Let me see, Vincent. Been walking today, Greg. Okay, see this. Same thing. Nothing really going on. Anything else here? Just gonna like some bits. I'll do that. Get that taken care of right now. Liking people's posts. You can do that live right on the air. Look at that. Who would have thunk? Just make sure I do not erase anybody's comments. No, don't erase anybody's comments. All right, go back over here. Hello, James Terry. Hello, prepping for the store for the 4th of July. Oh, gosh, I can imagine, man. It will be a grueling weekend of work. Hey, shoppers, only 5 months till the silly season and the most favorite time of the year. Yeah, right? It's true. It is true. Gosh. Yeah, it's not that long. It really isn't. Another, let me see. This is, wow, it's July. Tomorrow, July 1st? The 30 days? Is it 30 days in? Is July 1st. Wow, right now it is. As we speak it, it's July 1st. So we got July, August, September, October. I'm gone in, uh, yeah, I'm gone like, I leave like the end of October ish. Somewhere around there. Wow. 4 months. It did seem like the summer kind of flew, basically. I know what happens up here. Once it gets to be Labor Day weekend, and you get that first, the weather changes. Literally, up here, it's almost like someone pulls a switch. It's just like that. It's like, okay, fall. And the temperature drops, and it's beautiful during the day, and then all of a sudden it starts to get chilly at night, and you pull out that extra blanket. Make sure you start a fire. Refuse to put the heat on. Refuse to put the heat on. Yeah, it's coming. It'll be here soon. My favorite time of the year, not just because of going back out on the road again, but also that's part of it. That's a big part of it, but also the change of the weather and everything. That's really really beautiful. That's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. The winters not so much. Eh. Even though last winter was pretty cool up here, it wasn't bad. It was not a bad winter at all compared to previous ones. I don't know what it will be like this year, but I think, judging how what everyone's saying, then it's probably not going to be a very good one. So just keep our fingers crossed, everything crossed for us who live up in this area, that the winter's not going to be too harsh. Let's see, check and see any other questions here we got. Come on. Nah, we're doing good. Yeah, we are doing good here so far. On questions. Do you guys want me to do the second part of this like little micro thing that I put together? Um, writing your first book, or at least getting ideas together in order to do it, because I absolutely think, I really do feel that it's great. It's a great thing. Everyone's got something. Everyone's got a story. People may not think that their story is interesting, or what they have to offer isn't interesting, but that might just be your own perspective shouting at you. I think you should really think about it. It's not hard. It isn't. If I can do it, anybody can put it together. You get the help of the right people, or do it all on your own. Yeah, it's a great experience. I highly recommend it. So yeah, uh, I'll go over it in a little bit. Check out some more questions here. Jim, hey Jim. Vincent also. It may be my phone because I'm on the road all the time. Yeah, it could be. It could be all right. Jim, I was watching Randy's Hot Licks based instruction on YouTube last night. I saw you back there in the skins. Man, that was a rough production. It really was a rough production. I mean, I remember when we were getting ready to do that, there was like no preparation. We just kind of threw an amplifier up there, a set of drums, and a green screen. And I think it was like one camera that they kept moving around the room to try to do different things. It was pretty rough. I forget the company. Well, it's Hot Licks, right? I forget who the guy who owned that company. I can't think of his name. Can't remember it. Yeah, that was rough. That was absolutely rough. Yeah, I think Randy had pulled an all-nighter on that one. It was early, too. We had to be there early in the morning. And I just remember trying to park in Manhattan and drag the drums upstairs and get them set up. And they weren't prepared at all for drums, or for that matter for bass or anything, because it was just such a big boomy room with this like curved white wall behind us. It was rough. I agree, Jim. It was seriously rough. Okay, what do I got here? Jeremy, I bet it gets hot up there with all that fire. You bet it does. It gets pretty toasty up there, indeed. It becomes really hot. It wasn't as bad last year because the way the stage was set up was that the pyro was probably about maybe I'm gonna say about maybe 7 to 10 feet, maybe 7 feet in front of me. So it wasn't that bad. A lot. Just they shot up very high in the air, but it depends on which way the air in the arena is moving. See, when they have certain vents on, then the air is going to move in one direction, and then as they get near the end of the show, they'll usually open up the back, and that will create some kind of a vacuum sometimes to try to get all the other the smoke and stuff out of the room, and then everything starts to head this way. So if the flames are in front of me, then they start to come back at me. So sometimes they can be pretty toasty. But I also have some really powerful fans that are back there, whisper type fans, that keep everything blowing away from me, all fumes and pyro things and stuff. Yeah, it's definitely it's safe up there. It is. It just gets hot. It does, especially if you're wearing a jacket. Or you're wearing. I like to wear a vest pretty much when I play. Really, it's just one of the jackets, and I have them cut the sleeves off to do it that way. It's comfortable, but it's still warm. In the old days when we first started doing the tour, they were straight up regular tuxedos. I mean, like wool tuxedos. So imagine wearing a wool suit playing drums in front of flames or behind flames or flames all around you. Yeah, that was insane. It's definitely not it's not as hot or anywhere near as bad as it used to be as far as like the heat and stuff. Stephanie, haha, easy to do here. Stephanie, grilled stickies, creamy ice cream, very easy to get fat here. Yes, it definitely is. It is. Oh gosh, my best friend, he packed it on. He really did. I was like, wow, what the heck? And then he lost it all. He lost all that weight. He went the other way. He went to like the total extreme of the other way, where he was just so thin. And I just put some more weight back on again. But it looks good. Let's see. I have to remember too that there was a big delay here. That we're talking probably now a few minutes delay. So by the time I actually ask a question or see if there are questions, it might be related to something that I said a few minutes earlier. That happens too. Let's see. We got anything else here? Checking the time. 12:28. All right, cool. So is the broadcast still jumping around? How does it look? And does it sound okay? What is it like? Let me see what we got showing. Michael, hi. John. Hey there, John. I haven't seen you in a few days. Yeah, Michael, hello. Here I am. I'm here again tonight, and I will be here again tomorrow night. Not too sure what I'm going to do tomorrow night. I don't know. I'll have to put something together, because I still have this thing to do tonight about writing a book and doing that. Let me see. Michael, my video was locking up for 3 seconds every 13 seconds like clockwork. Oh, no. Yeah, I have to wonder. Like, I don't see it on my phone locking up here. I'm looking here for comments, and then I'm over here, and nothing is locking up over here on that one. And these are both sharing the same Wi-Fi. And of course, I'm hardwired in here to my computer. And I can see over there on that screen that everything is running fine as well. It's it's really weird, man, to look over here and see yourself in like 1, 2, 3 different places, and realizing that I'm also broadcasting, and there's a good 3 minute or so delay. Okay. Let's see what else we can come up with here. Alright. Okay, I don't see any other questions here. Yeah. Alright. Let me just check for sure. Alright then. What I am going to do is I'm going to 12:30 now. So I'm going to start to go into this presentation thing for this book thing and run down some ideas, and if it can be of any assistance to you guys, absolutely, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to know that. Or if you enjoy it, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be just like, I don't want to, again, bore anybody or be like that, I don't want to be that guy. I want to make sure that there's a certain amount of, value I can give to everybody and answer whatever questions that can be answered. I'm usually pretty good with answering questions, I think. Stephanie, sometimes we skip fall and go straight to winter. Yeah, and I had that. We had that once since I've been here. One time, it just literally it went right from fall and it was boom. Like, what happened? All of a sudden, it was like 30 degrees outside and it was snowing, and the night before it was like beautiful. Like, how did that happen? Yeah, it was a rough winter. I remember that one was a bad winter. That was just like, every time it snowed, there was 2 feet of snow. It was crazy just trying to dig out of all of that. Sometimes, winters like that, or the prospect of a winter like that, makes me just want to stay someplace warm for a while until it starts to melt away a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I might do that. I might check that out myself. I'm not too sure. Depends on, the tour. It depends on where the tour ends this year and how close to the West Coast I am. So I may wind up staying out there for a little while, or possibly go to Costa Rica. I've heard some nice things about that. There we go. And Shannon joined. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? I see you there. You can run, but you cannot hide when you're on the Facebooks. There is no incognito on Facebooks. James, okay, nothing brings out the best in people like Thanksgiving shopping and Christmas shopping. That is the time we get to feel and hear people cuss at us, call us all kinds of things, despite the fact we pull off all logistics miracle every night during that time. Yeah, stocking and restocking is that can be tough. I know. Uh, yeah, I love that this time of year. I haven't been home. Oh, wow, I haven't been home for Thanksgiving or Christmas. In a long time. In a long time. Wow, since last Christmas I actually had home was probably 2001. That was the last time. Yep, the last time, 2001. So yeah, that was a while. We have our road family and stuff. So there's always Christmas out there and Thanksgiving, of course, with everybody. It's not the same, It's a different thing. Being a musician, you wind up sacrificing so much as far as family and friends, and it can be a bit rough, and it really can. You know, it's something that I look forward to on one hand, the experience of going out on the road at that time of year and seeing everybody and getting to spread whatever joy that I can, or whatever can make people feel good, through the holiday season and stuff. But on the other hand, it's a bit of a sacrifice, to go out there and be away from those who you love. It's just that comes with the territory. That comes with the bidnit. That's what that does. That's why you have to really learn how to live with a high degree of uncertainty. And this industry is not for everybody. Not everyone's cut out for it. That's just the truth. That's the way it is. I've seen some amazingly talented musicians who can't take the travel. They can't take being on the road. They can't take the separation. They can't take living with that high degree of uncertainty. So it does take its toll. And I just got my battery is going to die any second, and I have I've got my thing over here to charge up. Hang on. Uh-oh, I think it's back here. Yes, it is. Give me a second. Oh, yeah, check this thing out. Check this out. Oh, yeah. This thing here is a little battery. It's called Goal Zero, right? This little tiny thing, you plug it in. It's really cool. To get this to work, you have to, I don't know if you can see it, you have to take this end down here. To charge it up, you just use the end of a regular plug. All right, so it plugs in here. So you can just like put that in, plug it in to charge it. Then when you're ready to use it to charge your phone, the other end of it has a USB cable slot where you can just, if I get this in the right way, plug it in here on one end. Yay, watch this. And plug it into the phone. And maybe you'll hear the telltale sound. It didn't do it. Oh, it didn't make the vroom. And now it will charge. It's pretty cool. Okay, I got a question down here. Greg, how long does it take to recover after the winter tour? I'd have to say that it takes about, normally decompressing about, I'm going to say probably about 2 weeks. Really, about 2 full weeks. Some pretty heavy duty sleeping. And yeah, about 2 weeks to decompress. Some people can do it quicker. You know, some people jump right back into working and can keep the flow going, you know, to do it that way. I like to be able to just get done with it and go, okay, now I'm just going to decompress for a while. My other businesses are running on autopilot somewhat, so I'm able to deal with that and not have to be running around, you know, chasing things and stuff. So yeah, it takes about 2 weeks around in there. Yeah, decompressing can be fun, especially if you get to do it in a really nice place. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see. Now that my phone is charging. All right. What I have, 1238. CPU is still good. All right, that's still good. And what I'm going to do, oh wow, I'm looking at the phone and I'm seeing that I'm talking about the Pyro. I talked about that like 5 minutes ago or more. Wow. Who knew? Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do this little presentation thing about the book, about trying to like write your own book and getting ideas for it and stuff. If that's okay with you guys. That's what I'm going to do. So we're not just yakking away here about questions and buffering and things. Like I said, this will probably be the recording will be fine. There'll be no buffering with the recording. I checked before with the other one, and that was a really bad one, and that came out okay. Plus, I'll also have a recording of this, and that'll be available over on my other page, the Facebook.com/John O.Reilly Live page. So it'll be over there as well, and it will, it'll be a good recording. It won't be all kinds of jumpy and things like that. So I'm going to come on over to here and do this thing. Okay, the screen's going to get bright, and there it is. It's been known to happen. So I'm going to start this presentation, and we will dive into it. If I go too fast, don't worry about it. Like I said, the recordings will be here, as well as the actual recording on my other page as well. Okay? That's what we'll do. All right, here we go. Oh, wait. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, yeah. We need some water. Whoa. Yes. Okay. Well, then here we go. Let's transition over. How to Write Your First Book, Part 2. Part 2. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I. Wait a second here. Hang on. Where do we go for this in here? Part 2. Oh, well, we left off with part 5. Okay. So, reason 6 basically is that, it can be a source of multiple streams of income, which is really cool to be able to have that. It definitely is, trust me. Did you know that you can recycle your book's message into 70 or more higher priced information products and programs? Your book automatically allows you to reach out to an exponentially greater number of people by multi-purposing its contents, doing different things with it, creating videos, creating podcasts. There are so many different variables that you can have when putting your book together. It can be repurposed into so many different things. And in return, you can generate even more streams of income. So you can live that kind of lifestyle, that kind of lifestyle of your choice while you're working less. And I know it sounds like a pipe dream to a lot of people, but it can happen. You just have to really apply yourself to this. I have an interesting story about it. J. Conrad Livingston said that someone asked him how much he made from his first guerrilla marketing book, which was a very successful series of books that he had. And apparently he told them about 10 million bucks. Only about 35,000 from the book itself, but the other 9,965,000 were all from spin-off information products. And that's the truth. Like I said, you can split this up into a lot of different smaller products that can generate pretty serious income for you. Can you begin to live a life, as well? Of course, I can't guarantee it. Can't guarantee that at all. It really depends on what you put into it. But I can promise you this, that if you do nothing, absolutely nothing will happen and nothing will change for you. And reason 7 is my personal reason, and, it may be yours as well. But for many of us, the single biggest reason for becoming an author has nothing at all really to do with money. Many people get to the point in their lives where, there's a message inside of them that is just begging to come out. And if you read my book at all, you'll know that my reason was fairly traumatic, with the sudden passing of my brother, which was my real kick in the ass. And as we go through this thing, you'll begin to understand that information publishing is without a doubt the most powerful, profitable, and time freedom business model there is for getting your message out there into the world. And as I did this, the personal satisfaction I felt, toward all of the businesses and financial benefits I would ever reap. What I spoke about of yesterday. I showed you 7 reasons why a book is the maximum authority branding tool for anyone who is an independent artist or business owner. If you put it together correctly, a book will establish you as an authority, increasing your income starting with the very first month you begin writing it. I know it sounds like a stretch, but that can work for you. It really can. And generate multiple income platforms, provide you with a true personal satisfaction, and, a lot more. And tonight's lesson is this. Here you're going to discover the single biggest obstacle, in independent artists and business owners that prevent them from writing their very first book. I'll teach you the 5 ways to easily handle it. Okay, here we go. The biggest objection I've heard people give is this: I don't have enough time to write a book. Right? Really? They don't have enough time to write a book. That is probably the number 1 reason that I've ever heard. Now let's take a bit of a closer look at this. How to write your first book, the first draft of your book, really fast. Let me show you how you can easily create a great book with the limited time that you have. The fact is, if you can just write 2 pages a day, all right, just 2 pages a day for 90 days, unedited, you will have a 150-page first draft done in like 3 months. Just think about that. Just 2 pages a day, unedited. Don't try to edit it as you go along. It'll drive you absolutely freaking crazy if you do that. If you proceed at that pace, you can easily have a book in your hands within 6 months of the day you begin, if you take advantage of self-publishing, which is what 80% of book authors do this day. This includes the time needed to prepare before you write and have it edited and published thereafter. So what's the fastest way to get it done? Almost all of us speak at least 100 words a minute. The average business book today is about 50,000 or so words, roughly 150 pages. So do the math and you'll see how many people have dictated the draft of their entire book in only 9 or 10 hours. Add in the time needed for preparation, editing, and publishing, and you can have a book in your hands using this method in only 3 months. That's fast. It's not like what people would think that it would be, which is, creating a 250, 300 page book and, writing their novel, writing their one big thing that they're going to do. That was always the big thing I remember growing up. Someone's writing their novel. Doesn't have to be that way. Really doesn't. It can be a shorter book and can literally take you 3 months from start to finish. Thousands of busy independent professionals and business owners have used these methods to create business attracting books in just 3 to 6 months. If it's that fast and easy to create a book, why do most authors struggle and never even finish that book that they've started? It's because they're not using a time-tested system. That's the secret to creating a book in 3 to 6 months. And why do I say that? Well, it's not only because of my experience, but because of this. 94% of all failures in general come from not using a time-tested system, according to the research of Dr. W.E. Deming, the legendary quality guru. Let me share you the 5 steps, of the most important steps of this time-tested system that you can use to create your first book quickly and in the time you've got. That's to spare. How did that sound? Hope that sounds pretty good to you. I know it did to me. Finding the time to write your book in just 5 easy steps. Number 1, make specific appointments with yourself, in your calendar to create or speak your book. Okay? Make specific appointments with yourself in your calendar to write or to speak your book. As you discover in this micro course, a correctly developed book can bring in more clients and revenue to you than any other marketing strategy or tactic. So, make these appointment times almost sacred. Don't miss one of them for anything less important than like a medical emergency. Not kidding. Number 2, for each appointment, block out a few numbers of large chunks of time rather than a larger number of small blocks of time. Why? Well, when you first sit down, the beginning 20 minutes or so, that's warming up. That really is. That's just getting you warmed up. And the last 10 minutes, or so are for finishing up. With larger chunks of time, those warming up periods make up a smaller percentage, so the larger percentage of your time is devoted to peak productivity. Number 3, always say no to any interruption during these appointments. I know it's going to be tough for some people, but if you want this to happen for yourself, you have to do this. The only exception, again, medical emergencies. And, stick to that ground rule. 4, throughout each day, whenever an inspiration about your book hits you, jot it down. Great ideas often come at the most oddest and weirdest of times. Always carry a pen and paper with you, or use your phone to dictate. That's what I did. Whenever I had a great idea for my book, I just took out the phone and I started jabbering into it. As long as I had that idea down, I felt way more confident than trying to remember something and just squishing it down on a piece of paper as best I could. But if paper works for you and a pen, absolutely do it. Avoid relying completely on your memory or you're going to regret it. Number 5, use downtime for writing or dictating your book too. Very important to use as much of your downtime as you have. It includes commuting to the office, lunch breaks, waiting for appointments or airline flights, etc. Make it a habit and you'll find many opportunities. Just 15 minutes a day adds up to almost 8 hours each month for you to devote to writing. If you're in the process of writing a book now and are willing to commit the time, the money, and other resources needed to complete your work, then I acknowledge you and I'll support you in that commitment. I really will. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this. And like I said, if you have any kind of questions about this thing, anything like it whatsoever, feel free to contact me. Absolutely. I mean, I really want you guys to get the most out of being able to write. And even if you don't look to publish it or look to do it in any kind of real way for financial gain, just having it out there, and if it can help anybody. I didn't know if anyone was going to like my book. I really didn't. I didn't know if it was going to that it would do as well as it did. I mean, it became an international #1 best-selling book. I had no idea. I had hoped that it would do great. Of course, but I had the support of a lot of people. I had the support of people on my list. You guys, also who got the book, and community. That was a key part to it. Yeah, I have a little bit of a unfair advantage. I'm known internationally, as a musician, so that didn't hurt as either. But that shouldn't stop you. You should just go ahead and absolutely go for that, please. And if I can help you, like I said, I will absolutely do anything I can. Okay? Hope you guys enjoyed that little thing. Let me see. Greg, Godspeed, John, turning in for the night. Good night. Good night. Be safe, Greg. Jim, you just said it at 12:28, and I showed 10:42 Mountain Standard. So we're talking a 10-minute delay or so. Whatever. Yeah. Right? Who knew? There is a definite delay here. That I know for sure. Let me see. And the sound is a bit slow today, too. I have to wear headphones to hear it. Sound was fine yesterday, though. All right? Look at this, Adele. You made something for me. I can't see it right now, Adele, because I know if I hit it, I'm going to, blot out the screen. So as soon as we're done, I'll be able to take a look at this. What you got for me. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Thank you, my man. Yes, the video still freezes every few seconds or so. Good evening, John. Just dropped by to say hi. Well, thank you. Thank you, Tricia. I'm in Texas for a couple of weeks. Absolutely beautiful here I am in Rockport. Have a wonderful night. You too, Tricia. Thank you so much for coming by, sweetheart. I absolutely appreciate that. 100%. Thank you. Let's see. Trying to get some of these other things here. Do this. Okay. Just clicking on some things here. Hi, Jacqueline. Hope you're having a great evening. Yes, I am. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming on by. And let me see. Just want to click on these things here and do this stuff. Like everybody's things. So I don't forget about it. Alright. Cool. I think I got everything there. Yes, I did. Let me scroll back down again. I'm glad I can see more comments than just 4 comments. Alright, excellent. Yeah, excellent. Oh, good. I'm glad that, that you guys enjoyed. That you came by today to say hi and stuff. Tomorrow night I'm going to try to do something different, and we'll experiment and see if the sound and the video is better or not. Because I'm going to use the iPad. I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to use that iPad and see what happens and see if that makes any difference whatsoever. That'd be cool if I could do that, because I'll just be hanging out. I don't think I'll do any kind of presentation or anything like that. I think we'll just talk for a while and just experiment and just see if that's the case. Because I tried it also with another piece of expensive software and not using this free one that I also use, and that still presented a problem. That was still a bit jumpy. And I think it's got a lot to do with Facebook. Not that I want to blame Facebook. Don't want to do that. Let's see. All right, do we have any kind of questions or anything going on? Anything else? Let's see. Okay, I don't really see any other kind of questions going on here. Then again, it's also a bit of a delay. But even if Chris joined, hey Chris, peace. Yeah, like I said, if it turns out that the that I didn't get to a question, it's like again, this will probably end a good like 5 or 7 minutes after I'm done with it. The thing is, I have to keep streaming. That's something that's interesting. I have to actually keep streaming all the way. I can't stop streaming, otherwise things get cut off too quick. That's part of the trick of doing this sort of Facebook Live thing. Who would I never would have thought that. Okay, let's see. Broadcast interrupted. That happens too once in a while. See a little bit of that buffering thing going on. It's gonna happen. I'm just curious as to if I can get this to stop. So I will do that tomorrow for sure. I'll be messing around with it to see if this even anything happens with it. I'll check and see. I might even try broadcasting actually. When I'm done tonight, I might go over to my drum school and see if I can do something over there as well with it, just to see if I can experiment to get that to happen. And okay. All right. Okay, I don't really see any other questions here. So is everybody all good? Everybody have their plans for the weekend? What are they going to be doing for the weekend coming up? It's 4th of July weekend, right? Is that what this is? Today's the 1st, Saturday, the 2nd, the 3rd. Yeah, so 4th of July weekend is what this is. Any plans? Who has some plans? Let me know. Let me know who has plans for the 4th of July weekend. I already know what my plans are for the 4th of July weekend. I'm going to be practicing drums. I'm making my own fireworks. This is what I'll be doing. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing for sure. All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm also posting these up on my YouTube channel as well. Of course, I don't know the name of the YouTube channel. I don't have it up there. I'm not too sure what it is. But I'm posting them up there as well. And I'm also repurposing these for a video podcast, which is pretty interesting. So I'll be doing that as well. Adding 2 episodes, the one from last night and tonight. I'll be adding that as well onto the actual podcast itself. And let me see, do I have any other comments here or questions? No one is going to say what they're doing for the weekend. Could it be everyone's being secretive? Nah. No, come on, tell me. I'd like to know. Let's see. No, I don't see any other questions here. Well, it's just about 1, so I have it on for about an hour or so. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to call it an evening then. Thank you guys for coming out and saying hi to me and stuff. Absolutely. Just making sure everything's working and that everything is good and that everything is happening the right way. So what I'm going to do is I am going to wish you guys have a great, safe evening. Get some sleep, enjoy, get rest, stay rested, and as I always say, live to the extreme, love to the extreme, and always, always act accordingly. And have the best night and safest night you can ever have. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Peace. Talk to you then. Over.